everyone. Good morning. Happy Saturday. I'm so grateful to be here. Oh, okay, here we are. I think we're started now. I wonder if I'll ever get used to um, these live videos. Hang on here. All these little pop-up things start happening. But anyway, good morning. I hope it is lovely where you are. We are having weather. I think it was 45 this morning and just perfect. I love it when it's cold. And I love the warm too, but anyway, we're going to have an amazing day, and we're going to have an amazing start to our day by being here together. So thank you all for joining me or tuning in or catching this whenever you do. I am going to read the prayer, and then I'll take a second to connect, and we will see what the guides have to share with us this morning, and then get into a few questions, and that's that. We'll get on with our weekend. Okay. I ask God if He will have a shield of love and truth around you permanently, so only God's love and truth will exist between you and me. I allow the masters, teachers, and loved ones of you to channel through me out of whatever realm to say whatever they wish. I ask the permission of the Lords of the Akashic Records, so I'm able to look into the records of you and remove whatever information I'm allowed. Okay. Let's see here. We're going to start with okay. The guides want to start with being authentic. And authentic is not always easy for us to be aware of and mindful of, because so often during our days we are in situations, places, with people, in relationships, and we don't have the opportunity to constantly mind ourselves, our thoughts, and our actions and our words. Yet that is one of the most important things they said in being here, is when we're in these situations with people and places and experiences, it's so important to be mindful of how we're showing up and how authentic we're being. And we need to look at these things as opportunities to really let our light shine, and be aware if we are dimming our light to make other people feel to feel more comfortable. So it's funny, this week the story of the Velveteen Rabbit came up for someone, and I pulled out my copy because it's just such a lovely story, and it's been a while since I'd read it, and it's all about being authentic. And I'm going to pull it up here real quick. I got this version. It's the can you see? It's the 100th anniversary edition, and in it is the intro that someone put. What is his name here? Matthew Kelly. I'm not sure who that is, but I just want to read you a little bit of it. Life is not about doing and having, it's about becoming. Our obsession with doing and having has led us astray. It is time to return to the path that leads to becoming real. It's a state that will not be achieved accidentally. It requires intentionality. Who you become is infinitely more important than what you do or what you have. You were purposefully created and created for a purpose. You are here at this very moment to become the best version of yourself, not some second-rate version of your parents, friends, siblings, colleagues, or even your heroes. Life is a quest to become perfectly yourself, and it is through this quest that we become real. Still, our insecurities and ego get in the way. We're intensely attached to feeling accepted, being liked by others, and knowing that we belong. But there's no point being liked by other people for someone you are not, and no point being accepted by others for the person you are pretending to be, and no point feeling that you belong where you do not, in fact, belong. If you do not accept, like, and belong to yourself, no amount of external validation will satisfy the unquenchable desire for selfhood in your soul. And it goes on, but it's just so well written and well spoken. And I read the story this morning of the Velveteen Rabbit, and if you haven't read it in a while, I would encourage you to. It's not only is it kind of nostalgic and it brings you back to that childhood sense of innocence and wonder, it's really a sweet story. As a matter of fact, your guides would recommend you just to even go to a children's book you loved. Was it Where the Wild Things Are? Another one I liked was Hope for the Flowers. Um, but anyway, think about a childhood book that really means something to you, and just take a moment this weekend and go read it and let those feelings come back and remind you of who you are, because that's really important, how you're moving through this world and using all of your experiences with people and places as opportunities to move into that highest and best version of yourself. Okay, let's see. All right, well, we are going to hop on into some questions here. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. I feel scared to put myself out there and be open to a romantic relationship right now because of my past. What can I do to make or be more confident with myself and open to a relationship? I struggle to receive attention from others, but give it so easily. Okay, that's a great question. Well, one thing that's really wonderful is that you do give it so easily. And what you're giving, you have to remember, is also flowing through you. And so, in a way, you're giving it to yourself too. Now, they would want you to know that your past is your past and your story is your story, yet it doesn't define who you are today. And it doesn't indicate what your future needs to be about. Yes, history often repeats itself, and it does when we're not conscious and we let things continue the way they have been going and going. So they're saying that know your story, your past has shaped you into who you are today, and find the pieces of that story that you're grateful for, because you wouldn't be who you are today without that past. And really understand that this past that you've lived has made you more sensitive, has made you more aware, has made you more intuitive, and really begin to appreciate that. And when you can be grateful for the story you have, knowing that it's unique, it is your story, your journey, and in that is so special. And you wouldn't change one bit of it. One bit of it. No matter how traumatic or wild your story has been, it's really been your story, and it is made you who you are today. And so love that story. Find a way to really fall in love with your story and to fall in love with how unique you are. And when you can begin to appreciate that within yourself, then the universe begins to respond in kind, and it shows you that it understands the language of appreciation that you're speaking. And so it starts to give you evidence of that appreciation. So it's like, if you appreciate yourself, then the universe is going to appreciate you, and you're going to get things to appreciate. Does that make sense? So they are telling me to tell you to invest in yourself. And whatever way that might be, invest in yourself. If you want to change your hair, get new makeup. I know all of those things. Now they're saying this too. Makeup, hair, whatever, they're cosmetic, it's external. Is that part of being authentic? Well, yeah. You know what? If you want to play with the design you came in with, it's yeah, have fun with that. If you're doing it because you don't think you're good enough and you need to have a different hair color or need to have a certain look, then that's questionable. But if you're doing it to enhance or play or just be daring, be wild, be different, oftentimes the guys will tell people, some women, just go wear bright red lipstick. Just wear bright red lipstick because it's daring and it makes you feel like you're taking a little bit of a risk, and yet it draws attention to you, or at least you think it does, and it makes you get comfortable with being looked at, being noticed. So do something like that just as a first step to be a little more noticed. Change what you wear. Put on an outfit that makes you feel like you're on a date with the universe. And when you can begin to live in that feeling of gosh, you know what? This life is a dance, and I'm in a romance with the universe, and you start to feel really comfortable with that. That's when romance starts to come in, and that's when you start to attract people in your life that are ready to see you for you. So your work is to, first step, feel appreciation for yourself and your story and your journey, and know that your future is not determined by that. Second step is to invest in yourself, whether it's something new to wear that makes you feel just a little more vibrant, or a little more daring, or maybe it's get a massage and let yourself be taken care of, and just nurtured and receive in that way. Practice receiving, and or wear that bright lipstick, or change your hair, and start to let yourself be comfortable being noticed. Smile at people. Oh, and they're saying to walk with your shoulders, high, your head high and your shoulders strong, and look people in the eye and smile. And start to recognize who all's around you, what all's around you, and find appreciation. Notice what people are wearing, notice what people are doing, notice what they're saying, and just appreciate what you're seeing. Because the more you do, the more is going to come your way to appreciate. And so they're just asking you to be easy about this and to take these first few steps and get comfortable with that. And then just let yourself be in the flow of it and watch what happens. Let me see if I make sure I answered that. Okay, hang on here. And to be more confident, this is so funny. One thing you can do, I don't know if you've ever heard of Bach flower rescue or Bach flower remedies. They're flower remedies. If you're in Fairhope, the health food store sells them there, and you can find them in pretty much any health food store. Whole Foods, I don't know who all has them, but anyway, there is one called Larch, Larch, and it is for needing to feel more confident. And flower essences work because each flower has properties that when we ingest these properties, what's like crystals. Crystals vibrate, flowers vibrate, and they all help us in one way or the other. So these flowers, what they do is extract the dew from them in the morning, and the water on these flowers has received the properties of them. So larch is one for confidence. And what you do is you just take a couple of drops under your tongue, and I tell you, it works. It's like, so what happens is you're putting these vibrations in your system, and so your body tunes into it. And I mean, it's really remarkable. I used to sell them when I had my store. I love them. I've been using them for years. So you know what? Try that out and look up the other ones. There's some really amazing ones. They have one, I think it's called Hornbeam, and it's for that Monday morning feeling. You know how sometimes Monday mornings you just don't want to get up and go. Um, do you wish the weekend would have stayed around a little longer? You can take Hornbeam for that. There's one, it's called Walnut, and it's great for people going through changes like moving or, new jobs, new careers. Walnut helps you deal with, any of the discomfort or with the uncertainty or the move. So try that out. I love they gave something so practical. But larch for confidence. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Okay, so here's my question. Recently, we did a call together. It almost immediately started with my relationship status. Lots of good info. You asked me if I was on a dating site. I said I had been, but was not currently. You were seeing my profile, I think. Question is, should I get back on the dating site and renew my profile? And if so, now? Okay. Okay. So they are saying yes. Yes, get back on the dating site. And what they're saying is you are living in a time right now where you've done lots of work on yourself and your life and your mindset and your attitude and your beliefs. And so you are experiencing um, what it's like to live with your light on. And so they're saying, I believe they said this in the call too, your love light is on. And in that, it makes you so attractive to all things, not just, people and partners, but all things. And so why not take advantage of this time? You remember when you're on a dating site, and it is part of evolution here, it's how we're meeting, it is just part of the world. And so if you find yourself judging dating sites, you might want to ask yourself about that, and how is that judgment serving you? So this is for those of you that have those thoughts. But for you who asked the question, they said, yeah, let your light shine and watch what you attract and watch who you line up with. And because when your love light's on like this and you're feeling so connected, to the universe, you're in this dance and this romance with the universe, you quite possibly and most likely will line up with someone who's in the very same place. And that's pretty dang cool. So yes, they said, be open, and again, be open to receive. hmm And so yeah, and they're saying yes now. I like that. Okay. All right. Here's another question. What is the one thing I need to do to continue the forward momentum I'm achieving in my health, my business, and in my life? That's great. Well, that's a wonderful question that we can all benefit from. And I love how these questions tend to have a theme. I love how the guides orchestrate all of this for us. And what they're saying is to notice the momentum, which you already have, and then have appreciation for that forward momentum, and just keep reminding yourself that you created this, and now you're in it, and you're enjoying it, and it's that finding the things in this forward momentum to appreciate. What are the gifts that you're experiencing, from this momentum? And so when we look for gifts throughout the day, or, even in the evening, something really nice to do at dinner with your loved ones is ask them what gifts they've enjoyed during the day. What did they receive today? And it keeps you in that space of awareness of this momentum, of this receiving. So find a way to connect with that each day. The gifts that you're getting, whether that's, you're doing it in conversation with others, or whether you're writing it, in a journal, or whether you just have a moment with your guides before you go to bed. Let's see here. One thing that I do in the morning, I use the most benevolent outcome request. And one that I like to say is, I request a most benevolent outcome that I get delightful and surprising news today. And then I'll say thank you. And sometimes I'll say that I request a most benevolent outcome that I get things to smile about and be grateful for all day long. Thank you. And one that you could say is, I request a most benevolent outcome that I continue to experience and appreciate this wonderful momentum that my life is in right now, and that it continues to go even better than I can possibly imagine. And say thank you. And say that every day, and it just sets things in motion for the day. It's like paving your path for the day, and once you do it, it's done, and you don't have to think about it. So those are little things you can do. And they said they would also encourage you not to take things so seriously, which you're really good about, and you have a great sense of humor. And it is about laughing about, things that maybe we would say didn't go right, or things that went wrong. The guides never look at things like as they're wrong. They're just opportunities to demonstrate the next highest and best version of yourself. They said if they could encourage you and anyone tuning in today, they would say the most important thing is to be kind to yourself, and to be kind in your thoughts, and to love yourself like the divine loves you, like the greatest love you've ever imagined. They want you to be able to give that to yourself. And when you do, again, it goes back to that first question, whatever we give ourselves, however we treat ourselves, that self-talk, that, looking in the mirror and just seeing how beautiful you are and how amazing you are, and that, God, your life is so extraordinary in your story. It's like when you can love every single part of yourself, then it really does create a magical life, an extraordinary life that really can be beyond your wildest dreams. It really can. And when you read The Velveteen Rabbit, I'm just going to say, I think everybody tuning in today, just take a moment. It takes like 20 minutes at the most to read it. It is about love. It's about loving yourself, and that's how we become real, and that's how we become authentic. And I'm just going to read one more part in this intro. Hang on here. Go get my glasses. If you know the story of the Velveteen Rabbit, he befriends what they call the skin horse in the nursery, and the skin horse is very wise and kind of guides the rabbit. And there's one question that the little rabbit doesn't ask the skin horse that seems ever present in the human consciousness, and that is, how do we know when we have become real? Well, You've become real when you realize that you are enough, even if you are alone. I think that's just so perfect. Okay, I think we are good with our questions today. We only had a few. I'm going to check right here, see if there's one. We're good. Um, so I am going to draw our little cards, our little angel cards today for everyone. Okay, let me look. If authenticity comes up, I'm just going to laugh here. Ooh, okay, wow. Ooh, okay, well, we got discernment. Isn't that cool? Now, that's a car driving, and you might come to a crossroads today and have to practice some discernment. Well, that means really get in touch with yourself and really feel what feels right for you. And if you get in your head about things and you can't make a decision, then just stop and see if how you feel. Does something register in your body? Because your body's not going to lie to you, and your body's a huge indicator. When we get in our heads, our bodies are really going to tell us the truth. So practice that today. And our other one, which I think is lovely, wisdom. And you know what? That's an angel holding a lantern. And so it goes back to really trust your light, shine your light, stand in your light. Because you're all wise beings here, every single one of you. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, yeah. Hang on here. Yes. Come on, one more question. Absolutely. Let me see here. I'm figuring this all out. Okay. Hang on here. Mm-mm-mm. All right, let's see here. I don't know how to, y'all bear with me. I think we're getting another question. But if not, let's just see what the guides have to say to wrap us up today. Well, you know what? When you're in a romance and you're in this romance with the universe, discernment's really important. It really is. And it is easy to get swept up in things like, when we meet somebody new, it's easy to get swept off our feet and in the fantasy of this connection, because sometimes those connections just feel so amazing. Yet come to that place of wisdom, come to that place of being grounded in your wisdom, and then allow yourself to discern from that place. Okay, so what about a plan B, like if discernment backfires? That's a great question. So you have to look at if your discernment backfires, then that's kind of curious. I would be looking at that like, is there something I need to see here or something I didn't see? Is there something I tuned out or didn't tune into? Is there a place I didn't listen to my body? And so look at it this way. Discernment's not going to backfire. It's like being at that crossroads. You might choose one path over another. And what your guides are saying is, look at it this way. Yes, one path is going to be a path of least resistance and easier, to get you to that next highest and best version of yourself. But if you choose the other path and say your discernment didn't serve you in the way that you would have really liked, what's happening is you just took a detour. Like, that path is still going to come around, and you're just going to pick up a little bit more wisdom along the way. Isn't that so funny? They gave us two cards today, wisdom and discernment, and how well they go. um, so they want you to, when your discernment backfires, and they're just using that in your question, to look at what wisdom did you pick up along the way in this detour, and and then how did you get back on track. Let's see here. Okay. And let me know if that makes sense to you, or if you have more questions around that. Okay, another question is, should I write a book? Hang on here. Funny, I had to get out of Facebook to get the questions asked. Maybe that answers no for now. Okay, so let's do this. So, should I write a book? Well, your guides would say, how does that feel? Does something in that excite you, or does it feel heavy like work? Because if it feels heavy like work, then it might be you need to change the topic. But a good question to ask, and someone asked me one time, is if you had, a year left of your life to be here, and you could write a book in a second and share it with the world, what would you want that message to be? What would you want to share? what How do you want to impact the world and influence the world with your writing? And they said, come into connection with that. So I'll tell you this. Yes, you're going to write a book. You are going to write a book, and you might even write 2 or 3. So be open to this. It just might be a different topic than you're thinking about. And you too have a story that's quite inspiring and extraordinary, and would really be lovely shared in some way. The wisdom that you've picked up on your path. So think about that. They are also telling me to tell you, next summer. You will start this next summer. Maybe end of spring, but definitely. So yeah, I would say get ready. Okay, so is the rerouting or the backfiring still part of the same ride? This is such a great question. So, basically, yes. So, we can't get it wrong, and we can't get off our paths. We just take detours, is really what we do. So, discernment helps us take less detours. How about that? That's a good way to put it. But even if we do take a detour, it's still serving us. It's still going to serve us. And it may not be the most comfortable way to be served, but, we learn through experiences, and, we make better choices. And, well, hopefully, we learn through these things. So, yeah, that's great. I love these questions. Okay, anything else, you guys? All right. Let me see here. Well, I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you joining me here and having your questions. And I want you to know each question each and every one of you has that we get to answer here together serves every single one of us. We all needed these messages this morning. There's so many of us tuning in that, have really thought about writing a book. And it's like, listen to those messages, and see what lights up within you. And let yourself feel really alive today, and really in this dance with the universe. And know that the universe is an amazing dance partner, and it is responding to your lead and your moves, and it's matching you. Sometimes the universe is going to lead, but it's listening. Your guides are listening. Signs are all around you. So have fun with that today. Have fun receiving today, and and let yourself really feel. Let yourself really feel. Even if it's a little anxiety, if it's a little worry, just, you know what? Let yourself feel it. Acknowledge it. And even if you don't know why it's there, and then know, you know, that things are in motion. You're in this flow. And, you know, sometimes anxiety is around just to show us, you know, how much we care about something, or that we're really tuned into something, or we really have strong thoughts about something. And all of that's okay. Appreciate where you are, and appreciate who's in your life, who's around you, what's around you. And it's like the guy said in the Velveteen Rabbit, when you realize you're enough, and that's it. Even if you're alone, you won't feel alone. All right, this is good stuff, you guys. Thank you so much. Have an amazing weekend, and I will hopefully see you all next Saturday. Thanks.